There are those who would like to see you fail in your journey. That's not going to happen on my watch. Let's go.
Can we stop for ice cream, Bart? Can we stop for ice cream? Oh, it's the Max! Oh, the Portland Light Rail system, the Max, and that's what it actually looks like. How sweet! So into May, June, July, and now we're into August, so...
That was the longest night of my life.
Hello, I'm Simulator Dirk, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. We had a little bit of a technical issue in the last episode that I have now sorted. We went from Atlanta, Georgia, and we're heading up to Halifax, Nova Scotia. So we're heading into Canada. We have a rather unusual load. We're in a rest stop in the general northeast area of the US. Let's have a look at our load, because it is rather unusual. Actually, when you think about the load, maybe that's not the best one to illustrate it. So it looks okay there, but you go to the back, there's only like one set of wheels at the back. Now, I was wondering about that because I have this is based on a series of mods, and there was a new update for American Truck Simulator during the week, and sometimes that can break mods. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that's broken, but all the other trucks I've seen on the road have been okay.
There are those who would like to see you fail in your journey. That's not going to happen on my watch. Let's go.
So let's bring you up to speed. We have a frac tank, whatever that is. We're on our way to Halifax in Nova Scotia in Canada. It is currently Friday morning, just after 5:30. We have had a rest overnight. We're expected some stage between 7 a.m. Sunday and 1:40 p.m. Sunday. So Sunday morning, early Sunday afternoon, 56 hours in the window. Our next rest stop in just under 14 hours, and we still have a long way to go. We've got a full tank of fuel. We're fully fatigued. Meow, meow, my baby girls joined me on the studio desk briefly. Don't touch the keyboard, please, baby girl. Well done. So let's get in the truck. We've got our lights on for safety. Testing our indicators. Alright, let's reverse very slowly out of here. There we go. Let's reverse very slowly out of here. This is a combined fuel station, weigh station, and rest area. So we'll just reverse very slowly out of here. It's a very busy rest area and service station, gas station if you like. And let's get on the open road. The biggest thing that happened that you missed is that we actually ran out of fuel. Like, we got the fuel warning, and I kept driving, and I'm thinking, well, soon there's going to be a gas station where I can fill up. And I kept on driving, and I'm thinking, soon there'll be a gas station. Then we're getting rather low, and I'm thinking, am I going to have to go into fuel conservation mode? Am I going to have to pull off the... am I going to have to pull off the highway? Thank you, mate, letting me in. Good stuff. Thank you. Am I going to have to pull off the highway somewhere? Like, there were no signs saying this exit for fuel or whatever. I could have done that. And I was seeing gas stations on the other side. I was seeing gas stations on the other side, but none on my side. So I just kept on driving. And then I just ground to a halt. It says, you are out of fuel. And so it basically ground me to a halt, and it says that you can get the emergency fuel delivery, which gave us enough to get to the nearest service station, which was an opportune time because we really needed to rest at that point anyway. We were getting towards the... still had about 3 hours of daylight, I guess, but I was pretty tired both in real life and also in simulated life. I was pretty tired, so I was just happy enough to call it a day there. So we left from Atlanta, Georgia, and we drove up. The map unfortunately isn't as detailed, but we drove up through places like North Carolina, the Virginias. We just saw a turn off for Boston, Philadelphia, New York. So based on current pace, if we were able to drive the whole way, which we're not in the one sitting, we've still got 17.5 hours of driving remaining. And if we were to drive the whole time, we'd be there Friday night going into Saturday midnight. But we're going to have to rest again before we get to that point. Now the load is really weird how it's only got the one wheel all the way at the back, and it's a rather big slope. You know, you don't have multiple wheels like most trucks do, and I thought, oh, well, maybe that's a case of, you know, something's broken in my mods or whatever. So we're heading towards New York, Boston. New York and Boston, turn off for Philadelphia. So maybe something's broken, but I had a look at all the other trucks that I've passed and that have passed me, and maybe that's just how this load is done, which seems rather strange. It just seems strange to have the engine, if you like, the semi, the tractor as some truckers call it in America, and then the next wheel you've got is all the way down the back, and none of the other trucks that I can see are like it. So we are now entering New Jersey. Now this is a modified map, so there's probably going to be areas like this where there's not a lot of scenery, there's just the road and very basic landscaping, so it might not actually look like this where we are. We are driving into the sun at the moment, so we're generally heading in an easterly direction. But we'll keep driving. Looks like we're going to skirt around but miss New York City. There's probably no real need for us to actually go into New York City based on where we're actually going. Not sure if we'll actually make it into Canada on this episode. I've been trying to keep these episodes between 60 and 90 minutes. We might actually make it. If I extend it a little bit, it might actually make it. So we'll see how we go. But the load itself doesn't actually feel that different. Like, it's just over 8,000 pounds, so it's not a heavy load, I'm guessing, by truck standards. With some of these loads,
and then continue straight.
thank you, Morgan Freeman. Oh, there's a turn off for Chicago and Cleveland.
Continue straight.
If you wanted to head west. My basic plan is to head to Canada, head to the east coast of Canada, and then come back through Canada. I've got a Canadian map mod installed as well called Canadream. These details will be in the show notes and also in the credits at the end. So it's basically to come back Philadelphia and Washington exit. My plan is to come back via Canada to the west coast of the US. A little bit more warning, Morgan, please. So we're heading to the Boston exit now. You know, I could be looking at the navigation screen as well, but Mr. Freeman's got to earn his simulated living somehow. But it doesn't feel... Why did I get the feeling you were going to do that? Oh, I just could have just driven straight and that would have been fine for a little bit. But nah, we'll stay in this lane now. So that's my basic plan for the next few episodes. Go up to Canada and then go across Canada to the west coast. This is actually a fairly long drive. I think from memory I've got all of my long distance points now, so to go from all the way from Atlanta,
and then continue straight.
so we're following the signs to Boston. I've been to Albany. We're coming into New York. We're coming into New York State now. So that's the basic game plan. I was a little bit worried that everything would break because there was a game update during the week. The biggest part of the update, from what I can see, which doesn't affect me, is that there's some Western Star trucks now in the game if you go ahead and buy trucks. But I don't do that. I just do load to load. I don't care what truck I drive, because I like driving the variety of trucks. And we're now coming into Connecticut. So we're certainly ripping through the American states. So I'm just quite happy sitting in this lane at the moment. Oh yes, I just remembered. I should have checked that. That's my fault. As I mentioned, we had technical issues the previous episode. Basically, there was no sound, and the reason I just remembered why that happened, I recorded yesterday as I'm recording this. I just installed an update for my video production software OBS Studio. And because I could hear everything in my headphones, I thought it was sweet. But what I needed to actually tell it, do my audio routing again. We've got some road work coming up here. This has been so much better since this has happened. Since this has been a thing in American Truck Simulator. Just roll past and have a look at that. That's nice. I like that sort of stuff.
Continue straight.
I like that sort of thing. Just random road work, accidents, people who aren't me getting pulled over by the police, the popo, the buzz, the old filth, the old bill. Call them what you want. But the only thing I wish they would add in this game is that, yes, the police can pull other people over, but when it comes to me, all that happens is there's a cop behind me who must be speeding or whatever, and the sound effect of a siren plays and it just comes up on your screen. You've been a bad boy. You know, pay the fuzz $200 or whatever it is. And that's all that basically happens. I'd like to see them actually try and pull you over. And then what happens if you don't pull over? Do you go into a police chase while you're driving a truck? I'd like that to happen. You know, if that's possible, I don't know, but that would be nice. In a way, it might not be a bad thing that you didn't actually hear the episode that I recorded yesterday and I've now binned. I came back from my real life job and I'd driven 300 kilometres, and then I thought it'd be a good idea to come home after driving that 300 kilometres in 5.5 hours to at high speed to come back and record an hour of American Truck Simulator. I thought that was a really good idea. Maybe that's the universe telling me maybe I shouldn't do that. But I hope you are enjoying the content across Simulated Erg. I've been doing a lot of work on the Simulated Farming Fridays. Can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, we're coming into Rhode Island now. The Ocean State. Bart, can we see the ocean? Bart? I can't remember if I called it Trucking Tuesdays or not. But Tuesdays or Thursdays episodes of Truck Simulators are released by now. You should be able to see some more episodes of Euro Truck Sim and also Japan Truck Simulator, which runs off the European maps. And hopefully there was an update too to Euro Truck Sim, so I hope that hasn't broken my Japan map. I was really worried that the update broke this map, but so far so good. I'm all good and cruising in Rhode Island. It'll be interesting to see the US-Canada border. After all, a few episodes ago, so we're heading up to, okay, we're in Providence, Rhode Island. So we're heading up towards Portland, Maine, not Portland, Oregon. We have been to Portland, Oregon previously, but now we're heading in the general direction of Portland, Maine as well. Or as I like to call it, the other Portland.
Continue straight.
So we're on Interstate 95. I have driven this in the opposite direction. When I was in America in 2009, my first American road trip, I hired a car and I drove around for 3 months. I originally hired a Pontiac, which to me was basically an American version of a Holden Commodore. And I would have been quite happy in that for 3 months. But they actually upgraded me to a Jeep Patriot, which was rather sweet. Had 500 miles on the clock when I picked it up, and something like 12,000 miles on the clock when I gave it back 3 months later. So that was a rather sweet. That was a rather sweet experience. I drove from LA up the west coast through San Luis Obispo. Hi Shauna, hi Jen. Up to San Francisco, up via Portland, Oregon.
1 mile. Exit right.
Exit right. Oh, he's actually given me some warning this time. Thanks, Morgan.
Exit right.
So we're heading towards Boston. Headed up through Seattle into Canada and up to Vancouver, back through Idaho, the Dakotas, Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, New York State, through to Washington DC.
That was the longest night of my life.
It's 11 a.m. Morgan. No, I thought I'd have to merge there. Oh, we're coming into Boston city limits. Boston doesn't feel like it. Have I been to Boston? No. I'm not exactly sure why we'd need to go through Boston to get there. We'll see. We'll see if we can recognise it. Having never been there. But we seem to be going rather slowly. And then I came back via the south. So I went back via the Virginias, Tennessee, Arkansas, Kansas, if you like. If you've been aware of my content for a while on podcast.
And 10, turn left.
Texas, New Mexico.
Turn left.
We'll turn left in a minute. Now let's see if I can look at my strange load. Yeah, that to me is strange. Have a look at that rear wheel. That to me, can't quite see it on that shot. That to me is weird. I think we have to go. Because all the other trucks seem normal. Why is my truck special? So, in some respects, I'm actually doing this American road trip in reverse.
Keep left. And 10, turn left.
So we'll let old mate go beside us there. Then we need to turn left.
Turn left.
A guy in Boston stopping on an orange light? Pretty sure that's not the way it happens. I was hoping in the previous recording to be able to drive a little bit further closer to sunset.
4.1 miles. Turn left.
Where are we going? Oh, there's a BP.
Turn left.
I've got plenty of fuel, so I don't have to worry about that right now. But I was hoping to drive a little bit more closer to sunset. But when it was time to fill up, I was almost out of hours anyway. So I thought, you know what, we've got a convenient rest stop right here. So let's just rest, and because I don't want to do heaps at night.
1 mile. Turn right.
Did we just do a detour just for shits and giggles?
Turn right.
It just seems rather strange the way we've gone. We could have just stayed on the interstate, I'm guessing. And I don't know if I like the fact that it just routed me through Boston and I didn't actually see anything, just like the outer limits of Boston, and that was enough to say, hey, you discovered Boston. Ah! I was hoping that he was going to pass me or move over, but I just used my sheer size in the end and he stopped. I know I would too if I was a car. Although, as I've mentioned before, if I was a car, I probably would have moved over to the other side. So we're still heading towards Portland, Maine,
Continue straight.
Manchester and Burlington. I think it just added a detour in so I could go say hi to my friends, all my friends in Boston, which I have none. Like, there wasn't as if there was a detour required because there was road work, but before, if there's been road work or if there's an accident, the road's been closed, it hasn't automatically rerouted me. I've had to find that out for myself. So that couldn't have been it. Just pointless busy work just to say that I've been to Boston. And because the map's so huge now, I'm not doing what I did in earlier episodes. New Hampshire. Okay. I wasn't doing what I was doing in previous episodes where you buy a new map and then you try and go to every city in the map. I'm not going to do that now because the map's just so large. I'm just trying to get from point A to point B. Come on, old man. I'm sure you can go a little bit faster than that. So I started driving 5:30 Friday morning. It's now lunchtime Friday, and already the fatigue meter's through the roof. Now we're coming to Maine. Gee, we weren't in New Hampshire long. I think round about now, something should come up on the screen. You have discovered the state of Maine. You know, it pops up some cities that I've never even heard of, being an Australian, and to be fair, a lot of Americans probably haven't heard of either, that aren't really big towns, but it'll say, discovered small town USA, woohoo! Whereas I would really like it to pop up when I enter a new state, a little bit after the, a little bit after maybe I actually pass the line, but come on, old mate, I'm sure you can do faster than 69 miles an hour. Nice. It's not a really heavy load. It's about just over 8,000 pounds. So I'm not really feeling, even though it looks strange on the back, I'm not really feeling that it's a heavy load that's causing massive inconvenience as I'm going up a hill. Now we're 55, so yeah, I thought the old mate in front of me might slow down a lot. Portland, Maine. Portland, me. Well, that is the state code for it. Portland, me discovered. Portland, me.
Continue straight.
I hear Portland, Maine is quite nice, even though I might say it's the other Portland. Haven't been there. Not going to be able to be there for who knows how long, even if it was on the agenda. Do 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 do. $500 miles to go. I would drive 500 miles and I would drive 500 miles to... Yeah, you get the idea. Like, I don't want to really go overtaking anybody. The main reason I had to go slow up that hill wasn't because of the load, it's because of the queue in front. It's almost a convoy if those two cars in the middle would bugger off. Then we'd look like we'd have ourselves a convoy.
Continue straight.
Now we can put the hammer down, 10-4. I found out recently one of the things that I do during the Australian summer is do commentary on the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. Unfortunately, due to the well-documented world pandemic, that season's been cancelled. So the time that I would have spent on that will probably be spent in the Simulator Dirk studio instead. Apart from all the other time that I probably would have spent in the Simulator Dirk studio anyway. Oh, I've got some roadworks over there. So I moved to be closer to the studio where we commentate on all the games to save on time and accommodation, everything like that, and the season get cancelled. But having said that, I am absolutely loving it here at Erk Tower in Newcastle. Summer's coming up, and how good is summer going to be on the coast? I've got river views. Oh, how good is it going to be this summer down under in Australia? I just saw a policeman on a motorbike, and then I also saw a sign that says to Canada. Now, for me as an Australian, that's rather weird, because obviously we're a country girt by sea, and so you don't have lots of signs directing you to another country. But when you get close to a border, and I have seen it in real life, where you go, oh, here's a sign saying to Canada, so obviously I am in the right direction. Now, when I did actually drive into Canada the first time, and the only time that I actually drove into Canada, I had every intention. I had an Australian navman back then in 2009 with a US and Canada map loaded. But during the flight somehow, and by the time that I actually unpacked the navman in America, I didn't have the memory card anymore. And it was a lot harder then to get that sort of information. So I ended up buying a new navman in America, and I thought, well, being in America, it would also have the Canadian maps on it. I get to Canada, I just go past the border, and then the screen turns grey, and it says, go to nearest road. I was in the middle of Canada Highway 1, because I didn't have the Canadian maps installed, and then as soon as I crossed back into the US, it worked again. Now, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be the case today if you had a dedicated sat-nav device. A lot of them are inbuilt now. And you can also use your phone. So I'm sure that wouldn't be as big as issue in 2020 compared to 2009. But I just felt it was strange. We're in the middle of one of the major highways in Canada, just crossed the border, and the navman didn't know where I was. Should give myself a little bit more distance behind this person. Friday afternoon now, we're expected, or our delivery window is sometime Sunday from memory. If we were to keep driving all night, which would be bad, wrong and tiring, our original ETA was just before midnight Friday night going into Saturday. It's now basically 11 PM. Still got 7.5 hours of driving ahead of me, and that would be illegal, tired and wrong. So we won't be doing that. But we should be able to make the delivery on this episode. Steady, hot and strong. Oh, big news as well. Rocked Australia yesterday recording time. The Australian icon, which I know is also in America, Sizzler, is closing its doors mid-November. Sizzler is closing. There's been various stores that have closed over the years. Sizzler have been in Australia for many, many years. They came to my hometown, I think, in the 90s. Is probably when we were most aware of it. You know, with the all you can eat, and they've got steaks and that on their menu as well. A lot of people love their cheese toast. I'm not a fan of cheese, so I don't do it. But Sizzler is closing down. I went to Sizzler when I was in America once, and it was pretty much like the Australian experience. And so Sizzler in Australia have announced that they're going to be closing their stores. I think they've got 9 stores remaining. Lots have closed over the time. So we've got signs coming up for Canada now. So we should be crossing the border shortly. So Sizzler is closing in Australia.
Continue straight.
There's just so many more options that that people are using these days, and especially now with that certain global pandemic, and also the amount of delivery services that are out there. A lot of people aren't going to restaurants for sit-down meals, etc. This looks like the US-Canada border, ladies and gents. Oh, I'm not in a truck lane. Okay, can you open? There we go. Oh, Canada. Oh, and native land. Oh, Canada. We'll stand on guard for thee. And my first question was going to be, are the signs going to be in French and English? And yes, they are. Welcome to New Brunswick.
Right. And then exit right.
Grand Falls, okay.
Exit right.
Exit right. Welcome to Canada. The Great White North. It's quite ironic, actually, thinking about this in relation to hockey. As I am recording this, the Stanley Cup, the Holy Grail in worldwide hockey, has just been awarded, has just been presented in Edmonton, in Canada, home of the Edmonton Oilers. One of the spiritual homes of Canadian hockey. And who played in the Stanley Cup finals? Were there any Canadian teams? No. Where were the Maple Leafs? They were watching from a golf course. Where were the Oilers? Connor McDavid was looking awkward at an airport, I believe. You know, what about the Canucks? They did fairly well this year. Where were they? Oh, they were probably hanging out in Seattle. And who played for the Stanley Cup? The 2 teams in the Sun Belt. The Dallas Stars and the Tampa Bay Lightning. So we got a team from Texas, super hot. A team from Florida, super hot. And who won? The Tampa Bay Lightning. So funny that because of the well-known global pandemic, they actually held the postseason in Toronto and Edmonton before the finals were in Edmonton. So yes, Canadians got to see Stanley Cup Finals action in Canada. Oh, here we go. Well, we are coming up to 12 hours driving now. No one was at the games because no one was allowed, so you're all watching it on TV. And to see two American teams from the Sun Belt, you know, where all the snowbirds go in the Canadian winter. Where they go to avoid the heat, avoid the snow rather, and get some vitamin D. That's where they end up. So we've still got 5.5 hours of driving. We're not going to get all of that in. But what I want to do, I do want to drive as much as I can. Oh, another interesting thing. I've just noticed the speed limit on my navigation says that I need to do 69 miles an hour. Nice. Because Canada, like most of the rest of the world, see cents and they use metric. And so I haven't changed it from American miles per hour. So I need to be doing 69 miles an hour. So we are starting to get tired. We are down to about a quarter tank of fuel. So we need to be looking out now for some fuel. Hopefully with a rest stop attached. Didn't really see that many when I really needed fuel in America, and hang on, there's a gas station. Oh wait, it's on the other side. Oh, there's a gas station. Oh wait, it's on the other side. And I wasn't low enough that I was desperate enough to jump off at an exit and try and find some. Because what often happens is you have fuel on one side for one side of the highway, and directly opposite you have one for the, so you have one on both sides. But even at the exit, so I know sign saying, you know, come and get your fuel here. You are getting tired. You should find a place to rest. Oh, we're doing that. Oh, things are getting really dark now thing. Okay. When I find a service station, a service station's boys or girls, I don't know. When I find somewhere to fill up, or I'll probably rest, and then we'll be nicely positioned to deliver the load on this episode. I wasn't actually sure how long it was going to take me to get to this stage, but we are in Canada. Oh, Canada. I stand on guard for thee. So I need to do 110 miles an 110 miles an hour in a truck. Wow, okay. 69 miles an hour or 110 kilometers an hour, according to that sign back there. Boy, do you know how fast you're going? You are getting tired. I didn't see the Super Troopers because we didn't go through Vermont, so that's a little disappointing. You know what I smell, rabbit? I smell fear. Have to go into the way station. So I wonder, the last time I saw a way station, there was actually a service station attached to it. So doesn't appear to be the case this time. Wonder if they're going to say anything about my wonky trailer. I don't know if they actually call them highway patrol in Canada. Okay, £37,000. Okay, this is going to be awkward. Alrighty, come on, buddy. Breaker 19 should be clear after this semi. Oh, come on. Come on, dude. Oh, so he's let him in. Is he going to let me in as well? No. I'll go after this guy. Looks like we've got ourselves a convoy. That's a good convoy, you guys. What are you doing? We're coming up to a city, you guys. You are getting tired. Yes. Well, if I could find a parking spot, that's. There should be some rest stops up here somewhere. Oh, Canada, can I go to sleep? What are you waiting for, my dude? Yeah, that's probably better. Then he just sits there for ages, then he just goes for a red light anyway. That's some good Canadian driving there, my dude.
Turn right.
So nearly 8 p.m. now, Friday night. We've got another 3.5. Yes, I know, I'm getting tired. UPS guys, just... there's a big dinosaur there. Okay, that's weird. It is a modified map, so you will get to see some strangeness. Now, I've never been here, so I don't know if this is true to life or not.
Continue straight.
Oh, that looks like a service station coming up here. And a rest stop, so that will be really, really good. Yes, I'm getting tired. I can see a rest stop. Has been a long day of driving. So we'll go in here, and depending on how it's laid out, we might rest first and then get fuel. Okay, so we need fuel first and then rest up there. Okay, and we can do that. So we're filling up now. Yes, I know. I can see it just over there. It's going to be rather nice to have a sleep. 175 gallons, $843 total price. Which I'm glad I don't have to pay for. And... so we're full of diesel now, and we are going to have a little bit of a sleep. And now it's starting to rain. I have a parking spot in which to rest. Is it not recognizing it as a... It's not the best parking job known to mankind, that's for sure. So not recognizing it as a rest spot. Look at all those trucks parked nicely, and then there's me. Now, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I have a parking spot. I'm right here. Maybe I need to go to that other one. Oh no, this is going to end badly. I can see it now. Alright. Just go out nice and slowly, my dude. Maybe it wants me to be on the other side. I don't know. It's... Yes, I've been here for the last... I don't know. See if I can park this a little bit straighter this time. What? Oh, I hit the truck on the way in, I think. It's not even... Oh, this is not good. I have a spot to rest. Now it's letting me rest after all that. You are getting some rest. Alright, it is 6:23 in the morning. Let's get up to date with what we're expecting. Okay, we're expected... Our window of expectation is 7 AM to 1:40 PM Sunday. Our next stop rest stop in 14 hours. We have 3 and a bit hours of driving remaining. Let's get her done! Actually, let's try... Yeah, let's do this. Screw it. We can have a look at our unusual load as we do this. Actually, that'd be a good screen cap of... Hang on, we'll wait till we get off the... There we go. That'd be a good screen cap of for the episode. So we've got 3 hours of driving remaining, and let's get into it. So let's get back on the road. Welcome back, Mr. Morgan Freeman. Do not enter. I'm going out the inn. Petro Canada, that is a real Canadian service station, by the way. Alright, let's go. Alright, I've got a full tank of fuel. 3 hours of driving remaining. To make our first delivery into Canada. Oh, that sun looks good for those trees. Alright, I got no idea where I'm going. The speed limit's 69 miles an hour. Full tank of fuel, fully rested. Let's get into it. Expected just before 10 a.m. Just me and the open road.
Continue straight.
That exit's closed for some reason, according to the sign. Oh, we're entering Nova Scotia. Steady on, Andy Oakley. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Now there's another service station. Now, I haven't explored Canada as much as I'd like to. I went to Vancouver in 2009. That was basically a construction site because they were getting ready for the Winter Olympics in Vancouver in 2010. Then I went to Ottawa in 2014 to meet up with a friend of mine. And yeah, that was a good time. Couldn't really explore much. We were just there to hang out and stuff. Would love to go back one day.
Keep right. And then exit right.
And I do a lot more exploring. There's so much to Halifax. Well, Halifax is our destination.
Exit right.
So we're heading in the correct direction. We've still got 90 minutes of driving time remaining. But it's always comforting when you know you're going somewhere and you start seeing your actual destination listed on the signs. Go, my dude. I was ready for you anyway. So an hour and a half to go before our long journey to the Great White North is over, for all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. And what I should do when we actually get there, I should look up Google Maps and tell you what states we should have went through to get there. Because the base map was really good for telling you what states you were going through, but I think with the mod, I think there's too many cities to for the map to be much use. I'll just look it up on Google Maps, and because I'm just curious to see how long it would have actually taken. "26 miles to go now." So we're still heading to Halifax. I'll just give myself a little bit extra room going around these curves. Cars are taking it slow because I think they got a truck in front of them anyway, so yeah, couple of trucks.
In 0.1 miles, exit left. Exit left. Continue straight.
"7 miles to go now. Not far to go." Halifax discovered.
Keep left. And then turn left. Turn left.
Alright, we're almost there. We're in Halifax now. Again, I haven't been to Halifax, so I can't tell you if this is realistic or not. But I hope you have enjoyed this little trip into Canada. Our aim is to head across now from east coast to west coast of Canada. That's the aim.
In 0.1 miles, turn right. Turn right.
Ice cream van. Bar, can we stop for ice cream? Pardon me.
In 0.1 miles, turn right.
And we have arrived at our destination.
Turn right. You've arrived. It's been my honor and duty to see you through this mission.
We have arrived, and I don't park trucks for a living. I just drive them. Rightio, so we were well and truly on time. We have our long distance delivery bonus. We are now almost halfway through level 8. So how good is that now? We'll do our high value cargo. Next, boing, boing. So that is our first delivery into Canada. Now let's have a look and see. I'll have a look on Google Maps and we'll show you, or I'll tell you rather, because I won't put it on the screen, but I'll tell you where we should have went through on that particular journey, because that was a long one. You only saw half of it due to the technical issues, but I hope you did enjoy it anyway. So, Atlanta, Georgia to Halifax, Nova Scotia. And driving time 26 hours. Now it's interesting, it gives you the various lengths in different modes. So 26 hours to drive a car, so I'm presuming that may be just a little bit more for a truck. If you're walking it, if you wanted to walk it for some reason, it would take you 23 days. And if you were to ride a bike, it would take you 6 days. So, I don't want to go into route preview. This route has tolls. This route crosses a country border. Verify COVID-19 border restrictions before going. Your destination is in a different time zone. So we start in So we start in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia. And we head up. Maybe this isn't the best view. So we go along Interstate 85. We leave Georgia and head into South Carolina, continuing on Interstate 85. Interstate 85. Then we continue on Interstate 85. We skirt around Greenville. Skirt past Brookhaven, still on Interstate 85. We skirt around Spartanburg. We keep on going through Macedonia, entering into North Carolina. We come into Charlotte, still on Interstate 85. Continuing up on Interstate 85. We continue, skirt around Lexington, still on Interstate 85, Greensboro, sorry. Now on Interstate 40, heading due east. So 85 and 40 must be fairly similar. So we're still on Interstate 85. Go around near Falls Lake. Through Henderson, Middleburg. Coming into Virginia, still on Interstate 85. On Interstate 85 for absolutely forever. Petersburg. Richmond, Virginia, which I've been to. Joining Interstate 95 south of Richmond. I-95 going up. Continuing to go up. Close to the Virginia-Maryland border. Around Alexandria, that I've definitely been there. Washington DC, into Maryland now, Interstate 395. Skirting around DC on I-195 now. Skirting around Baltimore, been to Baltimore. And we're continuing up on I-95. Into Delaware now. Pennsylvania is to the north on 295 now. Coming into New Jersey. Philadelphia is just to the left. On I-95 still, Pennsylvania and New Jersey there. Continuing to go up. East Brunswick, all the Brunswicks, New Brunswick, still continuing up. Skirting around New York, got a bit closer to New York than I actually thought we would. New York State, into Connecticut. Continuing up. Skirting around New Haven. Now on Interstate 91. Oh, we passed near Hartford and it didn't even say, oh, you're coming into Hartford. Home of the Hartford Whalers, formerly of the NHL, Manchester. On Interstate 84 now. On 290 into Worcester. On 290, 495. Massachusetts to our north. Into New Hampshire briefly. Into Maine. Up into Maine now. We skirted around Portland, Maine. We're continuing up. The unorganised territory of Perkins. Interesting. Continuing up Manchester. Still on I-95. Continuing, winding. This is a bit really long drive in real life. It is shortened for simulated purposes, but still, like Utopia. That's funny. St. John. Oh, I think we've entered Canada now, have we? We've entered Canada. And we're continuing and continuing and continuing. I don't know how you could do this in 6 days on a bike. I don't even see how you do it 23 days. Mind you, that's 23 days of solid walking, I believe. I don't think that's including rest stops. And we're just continuing now into Nova Scotia eventually and to our destination of Halifax. You certainly don't go in a straight line. You're all over the place. You're going in all sorts of different directions. 1,726 miles from city centre to city centre. Anywho, I'm Simulator Dirk. Hope you have enjoyed that. What we should do, we should quickly go into the job market and see where we can go for our next episode. So we are in Halifax, so we've discovered Halifax now. Okay, so we can go to, wow, that's a long trip. Halifax to Carson City in Nevada. Halifax to Fort Simpson. So that's going, Mrs. Quebec goes for Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. We head up into the Northwest Territories if we do that one. That's a long one. We don't have many options for Halifax, it seems. I don't want to go to Illinois. I want to stay in Canada if I can. That's only a short one. That's a Volvo. Yeah, we might do that one because that'll take us to the Northwest Territories. That'll take us through heaps. That'll take us a couple of episodes to do. So we'll go to Fort Simpson in the Northwest Territories. So we'll take that job. That's going to be a big drive on American/Canadian Truck Simulator. It's going to be a big one next episode. It's... Oh, what? What?
There are those who would like to see you fail.
What the hell?
That's not going to happen on my watch. Let's go.
Oh, this is booked. Let's put us in a garage. Oh, we're going to have to... This is booked. This has just put us in the middle. Where has it put us? It's put us in the middle of a... It's put us in the middle of a garage or a shed. Now that's stuffed.
That was the longest night of my life.
Oh, that's stuffed. Now let's see if it actually puts us somewhere decent. Now that's stuffed. You just can't put somebody in a shed.
That was the longest night of my life.
So we'll just get the vehicle serviced. $23,000 of damage. And there we go. There's our truck. And it's exactly this, because it's a frac tank, it's exactly the same sort of load as we delivered before. But we will do that on the next episode. Anywho, I am Simulator Dirk. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to drive safely, stop, revive, survive. See you next time. Bye for now.
There are those who would like to see you fail in your journey. That's not going to happen on my watch. Let's go.
Can we stop for ice cream, Bart? Can we stop for ice cream? Oh, it's the Max! Oh, the Portland Light Rail System, the Max, and that's what it actually looks like. How sweet! End of May, June, July, and now we're into August, so...
That was the longest night of my life.